Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Smith & Wiggins Show, and we are powered today by
YourMoneyHero.com.
YourMoneyHero.com, and you are?
I am Smith.
And I'm Wiggins. We're glad you're here today. So we have been listening this afternoon to a series of different podcasts, and both by business leaders, and business leaders who are doing more personal ventures. And for us, one of our favorite podcasts right now that we have been listening to has a very personal core to it for us.
It does. And the podcast is called Corky and Dennis Love Happens.
Love Happens.
And you can find it on Anchor and a bunch of other places that Anchor has promoted it out, Stitcher and things like that. Corky is my best friend, and she and Dennis have been married almost a year. So they're living full-time in an RV. And they're
traveling the world, traveling the United States.
At least the United States, right? Maybe some Canada later. But here's the cool part. They've decided to podcast together about their adventures and their travels. And so, of course, I follow along because she's my best friend.
And she's got me following along, too.
Yes. But we love listening. When we listen to these podcasts, Wiggins, we actually pull out lessons that we can bring to other people.
Absolutely.
And so today we were listening to one about GPS.
And for them, the whole take on the GPS was a humorous take. And so they were trying to convey, Dennis was conveying some funny stories. He's a funny guy. And you've got a real keeper there, Miss Corky, just so you know. And anyways, but funny guy and things like that. And he was talking about that. And he has developed a mistrust for GPS. Well, if you live in Charlotte, we do live in Charlotte area, you have to take GPS a lot of times. But one of the things that happened through listening to that is that Corky actually said the name of the GPS maker. Now, nobody's bashing any GPS maker, meaning whether it's on your phone, whether it's Waze, whether it's Google, whether it's a TomTom or a Garmin,
right?
Which, of course, are their own individual units. But that being said, she talked about those. And what was your idea that came out of that?
Well, I'm listening to these podcasts and I'm thinking, how do you get more followers to listen to your podcast? How do you get people to know that you even exist, right? Because they do have some valuable lessons in the different podcasts that they bring to you, as well as the humor and just maybe getting outside of your own little world and hearing somebody else, right?
Right.
And so my thought is why not go to TomTom's social media or hashtag TomTom and hashtag Garmin and because let them know you're talking about them, right?
Right.
And let somebody know that you exist. Because we don't know everybody that exists.
That's right.
And so those are the kind of things that I think would be helpful. So it's not that you don't want to be relevant to your podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure that whatever you're talking about and whoever you're tagging is relevant to your podcast, because otherwise you're just a spammer.
And that's true. That's true. But so one of the things that was very interesting is that we, and just being totally transparent here, we have gone to the lengths that it requires, and we're really starting to implement that. We've gone to the lengths to make the Smith & Wiggins Show powered by whoever, but we want to monetize it. That's part of what we were doing here. We're trying to build an audience. We're trying to bring value to people consistently, and we're trying to build those things. But we want to monetize it because, well, we enjoy it so much. We want to make money doing it.
That's right.
Right. So Corky and Dennis, going back to theirs and Love Happens, is one of the things that we said is, hey, let's make yourself relevant, as you said, with these hashtags. So when we come back, we are going to talk a little bit more about hashtags and what we even are trying to discover about hashtags ourselves. And maybe we'll talk a little more about GPS and what that means both for the physical and maybe the mental world as well. All right. Well, you have been watching and listening to the Smith & Wiggins Show.
I'm Smith.
And I'm Wiggins, powered today by YourMoneyHero.com. We'll be right back.
Look, up in the air. Is that a bird? Is that a plane? No, it's Your Money Hero. Let me ask you something, young business person. How would it feel to have the cash you need to run your business? Business owners everywhere struggle with where and how to put their hands on working capital. Your Money Hero works with business owners just like you. who are looking for working capital for their businesses. To find out more, call us at 704-209-5015 or look us up on the internet at yourmoneyhero.com. Once again, that number is 704-209-5015 or contact us on the web at yourmoneyhero.com.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Smith and Wiggins Show, powered today by
yourmoneyhero.com. And I'm Smith.
And I'm Wiggins, and we're glad you're here today. So we were talking about GPS. Now, obviously, GPS is just this wonderful little tool that we've all become so accustomed to having on our phones, having in our cars, having in all those wonderful smart devices. And we started down a thought process before when you were listening to Love Happens by our friends Corky and Dennis. You were talking about, hey, when you start talking about products or when you start talking about life situations where you use a particular product or service in, hey, why not tag them? Why not go out on social media? Why not do things like that?
As long as it's relevant to the conversation.
Right.
It gives both of you recognition. And as long as you're not being ugly, let's treat all the products with respect.
Right. So we have that there, and we want to, exactly, as you said, respect. And, you can say this isn't what I'm going for without actually bashing a product. Okay. So that being said, I also wanted to take it a little bit step further. We had a wonderful conversation this afternoon with a coach from the Bay Area out in San Francisco / Napa Valley area. Mm-hmm. She was Coach Carla Mishak. Now, one of the things that she talked about so much was basically about getting unstuck. And sometimes getting unstuck, now if you want to describe stuck in a certain way, stuck is kind of an emotional, mental, all the way around.
That's right.
Right. So you get that and we go, okay, I got to get out of this place because I'm getting in my own way. But sometimes what you need is this internal GPS to work, to know where you're going next in order to get unstuck. So that's a good plug for a coach, yes, help you get unstuck and everything like that. But interestingly enough, one of the things that struck a chord with me on this Love Happens podcast was when Corky was talking about how they ended up in a parking lot and it said, you have arrived. Her GPS just announced, you have arrived. And she's like, well, I'm not anywhere close to where I want to be. So I think one of the things that I wanted to bring up, though, in a mental, maybe emotional, spiritual state here, is that we're on a journey.
Yeah.
And the journey is the process, and it's not the destination always. So this internal GPS that we have, it requires us to be able to change course.
Wow. Well, that's pretty deep.
It is deep.
So I hear what you're saying, and here's what I took from that.
Okay.
So I took from that sometimes we think we want to go over here, but something happens that sends us into another direction. And so what did we learn from that? What can we take of value from that? Mm-hmm. And maybe we weren't supposed to be in the other place to begin with. Maybe we were supposed to end up in that parking lot and having a little sabbatical with ourselves. I'm just saying.
Well, I think that's a sabbatical. That's a good way to put it. You didn't get lost. You had a sabbatical, okay? Just remember, you never got lost. You had a sabbatical. But I think for me, part of that was today we were talking about the fact that, so you and I have been on this journey.
Yes.
And so we have the Smith and Wiggins Show, and we have changed it up. If you have listened to us in the past, you realize that it's powered by, and we changed the powered by today. So that's a process that we're going through. That's a journey that we're going through. And we're going to keep on doing that. But here's the other thing that kind of changed for us. You heard us talk before in the past about startyourexit.com. Startyourexit.com is still very alive and well. Don't think it's not. Don't think we've abandoned it. Don't think anything like that. But we've realized that we actually have to improve processes.
Yes.
And so we're on a journey. And we are embracing that journey to the point where, hey, our inner GPS says, hey, this is where we have to be right now.
That's right.
Yeah. And
which is so much fun.
Which is so much fun, as you just said.
We didn't even realize that we were going to be doing this. I mean, it evolved, and we're actually on a path we didn't even plan to be on.
Well, and I'm happy we're on that path.
Me too.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have been listening to us pontificate today a little bit about the Smith and Wiggins Show and the different things that
That's
All right,
just
man.
him pontificating.
Yeah, just me. Okay, well, as we said, Smith gets to be the realist. I get to be the pontificator. So, anyway, but we are so glad you tuned in today. We hope that you'll tune in next time. We're actually going to be talking and reviewing a little bit more about the books that we've been talking about. We've been talking, well, I guess I'll explain more about those later.
Yes, you have to come back.
Good, come back and tune into the next video and the next podcast. Okay, anything else to wrap this up?
Just know that if your GPS is off, doesn't mean it's wrong.
Now talk about getting deep. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Smith and Wiggins Show.
Bye, guys.